Does the human intestinal flora, called the microbiome, also act on our brains? Do our gut bacteria play a role in our food preferences? At the University College Cork in Ireland, John Cryan does pioneering research on the microbiome. He's been able to prove that gut bacteria can influence certain behaviors in animals as well.
When you take microbes from highly anxious mice and transplant them to normal anxious mice, they become much more anxious, and vice versa. That even when you take them from normal, you can normalize the stress response and the anxiety.
Scientists now even consider the microbiome to be a kind of intermediary, a link between food and the brain.
The main factor that influences the composition of these microbes is the food we take. Diet and the diversity of the diet is really important from the moment we're born until we die in shaping the composition of the microbes. And so we're beginning to realize the importance that what we eat has on what's in our microbes and how that's influencing what's going on in our brain.
Our well-being depends, in one way or another, on our microbiome. A diet that is good for our mood is first and foremost a diet that is suitable for the bacteria in our intestines. This has led to the idea of using food to pamper the brain and maintain mental health. And it is the famous Mediterranean diet that has the scientists excited.
The traditional Mediterranean diet is really high in a diverse range of plant foods, so lots of different leafy greens and different coloured vegetables, but also fruits, very importantly legumes, so this is your beans and lentils and chickpeas, nuts and seeds, fish, and of course olive oil. Olive oil is a very important component of the Mediterranean diet. And we think that that diversity leads to more diversity in the gut microbiota, the microbiota that live in our gut. And that diversity in the gut has been linked to good health outcomes. We ran the first study last year where we recruited 67 people with major depression. They received dietary support with a clinical dietitian. Now, over a 3-month period, this trial took place, and at the end of that, when we measured their depression again, we saw that the degree of change in their diet correlated with the degree of change in their depression. So the more they moved towards a Mediterranean diet, the more their depression improved.
Using diet to serve the brain. It's an idea that's catching on. Scientists are now exploring all kinds of clues. Spices used for centuries in traditional Indian medicine are now being studied in labs for their benefits for mental health. Red fruits and berries have awakened high expectations. The polyphenols they contain might be able to rejuvenate neurons on the decline. Researchers are only just beginning to uncover the secrets of the remarkable relationship between nutrition and the brain. The ideal menu for our little gray cells is still largely unknown, but a balanced, diverse diet which does without processed food and sugar and favors fruits and vegetables seems so far to be the best recipe for preserving the mental faculties.
My grandmother said, you are what you eat, so eat well. And what we're realizing now is that science is beginning to understand how true she was.